Over the last few years, while traveling the world from country to country, business leaders, entrepreneurs, political leaders, and academics, they often pose the same basic question to me. What is the actual effect on Earth of this digitalization that you are always talking about? Well, the fact of the matter is simply this, that the real values of digital transformation lies in its potential that is still hidden if viewed only from a social-economic perspective. Its destructive power alters society so profoundly that we are now only witnessing the initial rays signaling a new dawn of enlightenment driven by digitalization and intellectualization, i.e., we are now seeing the birth of the digital civilization. A digital civilization is the logical next iteration of humanity's previous civilizational foundations, the stone stool civilization, the agricultural civilization, and the industrial civilization. It doesn't only exponentially increases productivity, it unleashes individual potentials, and it also brings about efficiency, inclusiveness, and sustainability to life. While it also opens a new chapter in the developments of human society, where the impact of the fourth industrial revolution would ultimately redefine how the next wave of our civilization would be co-authored between mankind and machines. As this new civilization spontaneously emerges globally, China has become a best-in-class case study on how digitalization has made a positive impact on practically all of society's social-economic layers. China's digital economy has been a key driver of China's economy for the past 20 years. Currently, the digital economy contributes a staggering 32.9% of China's GDP and is growing at the highest rate in the world. Importantly, digital's impact is not industry-specific and not solely economic. It touches all aspects of society and enriches our daily lives. The explosive, deep, and broad power of digitalization has led to the transformation of the entire country into what we now call Digital China. Now, Tencent is very privileged to have been involved in the entire process, which in turn has helped knowledge the rapid growth of Tencent. Today, Tencent is shaping and redefining the digital lives of the Chinese people, with products in diverse areas ranging from entertainment and social media to the daily use of mobile payments, transportation, dining, healthcare, and even educational applications. Tencent is, as always, a connector. Tencent the Connector has become an integral part of people's digital lifestyles. WeChat alone now has a monthly active user base of more than 1 billion people. And hence today, Tencent has become the people's brand, and we are profoundly aware that it is those billion users who have lifted us to such great heights. How do we build values of a brand in a world where digital civilization would soon become the ways of life that impacts not only consumer behaviors, but also creating waves of transformational challenges on how organizations create values? Does the concept of brand remain relevant? And if so, how does one prove the contributions of branding to the growth of organizations? Now, these are some of the most powerful and tough questions that we no longer can just look away and take an easy way out. A few months ago, 25 global CMOs of reputable companies around the world, reputable brands such as Procter & Gamble, Unilever, Johnson & Johnson, Tencent for that matter, gathered around in France and pledged their commitment together to embark on a long-term journey, a mission to redefine the way forward on how marketing creates values and growth in organizations. Now, I'm privileged to be the co-chair of the brand committee, so let me say a few words on the challenges of branding. First of all, let's frame that key question accurately. What we are facing today is not just the media environment that is being taken over by digital, nor are we simply looking at a consumer lifestyle that has been embraced by digitalization. We are looking at the dawn of a digital civilization where the way that we live, the way that organizations are structured, and the very values of our society will be reshaped and remolded. We are at the cusp of the most dynamic changes in the history of mankind, brought about by the liberating power of digital. Thus, we must take a holistic organizational approach to the issues of branding. It is not as simplistic as digitalizing the marketing interface. This is, to put it plainly, really big stuff. Now, secondly, having framed the key questions accurately, let's face the key challenges head-on. How do we use technology to enhance the delivery of a brand promise in the age of digital? And how do we become more techno in our brand delivery? Brand promise in the age of digital civilization is no longer just a promise displayed in a digital manner. Neither does it simply mean redefining the brand accents that connects more with the so-called new digital generations. It must be a curation of a wholesome experience, engineered to maximize the entire journey of user experience. So do not be afraid of technology. Rather, actively discover its purpose in our quest to enhance such journey of our user experience. Since the initial waves brought about by the Industrial Revolution, we have learned that organizations create competitive value via the optimizations of product development management, supply chain management, and the customer value management. The effectiveness of which such organizations perform these roles determines its ability to create competitive advantage. The degree to which what effectiveness can be applied is about to change radically. We must wake up to the fact that we stand at the dawning age where everything will be artificial intelligence empowered. How would organizations transform and become AI empowered in delivering a brand promise? That would be the single most important competitive advantage that every single organization must build upon. Well, finally, back to the fundamental question. What is the ultimate role of a brand in the eras of digital civilization? Is it simply a strategic vehicle transforming from a mass media-centric campaign mindset to building customer relationships for the purpose of a lifelong value extraction? Well, we may not like it, but we must face the reality that the societies around the world that we are living in today is a post-truth era. The greatest danger we face today is the devolution of moral values into something relativistic, where the whole new set of challenges confronting basic relationships between people and organizations, and by extension, between people and brands. The role of branding in the eras of digital civilization is no longer just about becoming a more efficient or professional custodian of a brand. Rather, it should be raised to the righteous standard of becoming the trustee of a brand legacy. The custodian of consumer must become a sacred trust, which is pressingly crucial in the age of the digital civilization. Brands, therefore, must always take the road less traveled and embrace a higher standard of moral application by acting as a faithful trustee of consumer welfare. And finally, as the late, great Aretha Franklin would have said, it is all about respect. Earn the respects of our users, earn the respects of the consumer, earn the respects of the industry, and earn the respects of the society by being the faithful trustee of your consumers' long-term welfare. Don't just be a custodian of your brand, but strive to be the trustee of their legacy by building a revocable trust between the consumers and their brands. This is the only way to continuously grow your brand in the new era of the digital civilization.